Good morning, everybody. We are here for our metabolic strength training series. We're starting on workout 2 of level 2 today. So we've made it this far. So we've gone through 4 other workouts. This is our 5th workout. It's the second tier, so kind of that intermediate level of workout. So it's a little bit harder, but those exercises from this tier correspond with the exercises from tier 1. So should be a great stepwise progression and everything. Just a couple of housekeeping items. First off, if you're watching live with us, go ahead and just drop a comment down below. Say, hey, I'm live. That way we can give you a shout out. Also, if you are watching the replay, let us know so we can give you kudos for watching and participating. Also, if you complete the workout, let us know. It's always fun to see who participates and who gets it done. Also, let us know how it went. If you enjoyed it, if it challenged you. This one's a little bit more difficult than that previous level. So again, this is level 2 and workout number 2. The exercises, again, there's 5 exercises, and we're going to do them for 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So go ahead and download that interval timer app for Android and the workout app for Apple, so for iTunes, or from iTunes. So the 5 exercises that we're going to cover today are a step up with high knee. We're going to do a reverse plank, a plank, monster walks, and the tricep dip. So these exercises, one is designed to be more of a total body. One is designed to be an arm exercise, a leg exercise, more of a back stability, and a core stability exercise. So 5 exercises. We're hitting all of the major body areas, body segments. And that way we can make sure we're getting a calorie burn kind of throughout our whole body that we're going to have to do some recovery from and challenge every part of the body so that we're not just focusing on one area and not getting as much total calorie burn out of that workout. So other items of housekeeping, some of the equipment that we're going to use today, we're going to use a band. So this I call my butt buster band. So it's just a fitness loop. So it's a stretchy loop and they're great. So this is blue. That's the hardest level. If you need a band and you don't have one, feel free to stop by the clinic. Come on in here in South Ogden. Happy to get you a band and help you get started. Excited though to be here today. We're getting a little bit later start. I apologize. I had some other stuff to do this morning, but that went really well. So let's go ahead and get rolling with the workout. Make sure, again, that you've got your interval timer app ready to go. So we'll clear everything off my phone so I don't get a bunch of notifications. And here we go. So with this one, there's not as much of doing it on the left side and the right side. So this really should be just a little bit longer than that 15-minute workout. So we add a couple additional minutes on because we're going to do the left and right side of that first exercise. But after that, that's the only one. And so really these are designed to be quick workouts that you can do in combination with some cardio. That's not going to take all day to get a total body strengthening package in. Again, this is kind of that intermediate level. All right, here we go. So the first exercise, we're going to pull out a little step stool and we're going to do step ups. So vary the height depending on what you need for challenging your muscles. This is going to require a little bit of balance. This is going to require some strength in the quads, in the glutes a little bit for stability. Quite a few areas. So what we're going to do with this one, on level 1, we did a step up and a step down, right? So good for helping with kind of the phases of stair training and just general quad strengthening, hiking a mountain, things like that. What we're going to do today is add a little bit of extra element to it where we're going to come up, high knee, up to where that knee is level with the ground, and then come back down. So we're stepping up, high knee. So you're going to contract your abs as you bring that knee up. We want kind of an ab crunch. Then we're coming back down. And so we'll do that right leg for the 40 seconds, rest 20, and then we'll do the left leg for 40 seconds. So that's kind of the name of the game for exercise number 1. Really great exercise for both balance, stability, and you get a bit of an ab exercise as well as a leg exercise all combined in one. And so this is our total body exercise for this set. All right, here we go. We'll give us a 5-second countdown and then we're starting. Here we go. Up, crunch, down, down, up, crunch. So we're gonna stay with the same leg the entire time for this one. Really work on contracting those abdominals, getting those abs engaged as you bring that leg up. So we're really hitting a lot more muscles than just with the step up that we did in the level 1. So here we go. Perfect. So 20 seconds rest. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pretty straightforward with this one in terms of how to do it. Really focus on keeping the hips stable, that as you're up here, that you're not allowing hips to dip or rock, that you're not having to lean over. Really try to keep that balance as you do it. Keeping abs engaged, hips level. And make sure as you come back down to the ground that you're not plopping down to the ground. That you're controlling back down. And that way, you're gonna work the quad a little bit more. You're gonna stay in control, it'll be safer. You're gonna work on your balance quite a bit more with that as well. All right, so here we go. Kick that out of the way. Next exercise then is our chair dip. So let's grab a chair. So you're going to need a chair for this workout as well. Chair dips. So in the first one, we just used the arms of the chair and we used our legs to help control it, right? This time we're going to come to the front of the chair and let our bum come off. And we're going to, so legs straight. So we're going legs straight, body kind of in a plank, come down and up, just like so. So we're going to do that for the full 40 seconds. If that becomes a little too difficult as you're doing it, what you can do is bend your knees and use that to help control just a little bit more. And then if you really fatigue out and you can't complete the whole 40 seconds, we can then switch back to here. So really don't feel like you've got to push yourself to the point that you're failing. I want your form to be great with every repetition. And so if you feel like you're getting too tired and you can't keep going, go ahead and then switch to that lower tier exercise so that you can keep participating and keep strengthening, but it's not going to wear you out or break you down too much. All right. So let's get started with that exercise. Here we go. Chair dips. 10-second countdown. So the idea with this exercise is you want to come down till your elbows form a square. It's a great tricep strengthener. It does challenge the shoulders a little bit. So if your shoulders, if you don't feel like you can do it in the shoulders, like it's pushing your shoulders too much, again, you can transition back up and you can do the exercise here from tier 1, right? So we can do both and you can transition, just do as many as you can do in either position. But it's a great way, again, to strengthen the triceps and some of the shoulder muscles, so deltoids and other things like that. We can really get some good strengthening of those shoulder muscles as well as the triceps. So great exercise there. And we use our triceps for a lot, actually. So anything where we're pushing away, we're going to extend that elbow. So a lot of sport activities, we actually use that tricep fairly heavily. So great thing to keep strong. All right, next exercise is a reverse plank. So level 1, we did the tabletop exercise where you were here and coming up, but we weren't having you necessarily hold it unless you felt like you could or wanted to. This is kind of the next tier up from that then, being able to take and use that posterior chain strength, so glutes, hamstrings, back extensors, and brace out, really tighten everything up. And we're going to hold this position for the 40 seconds. Just like a plank, we want to be straight from our shoulder all the way down to the ankle, no letting the butt sag down, or it's kind of hard to pop your hips up too high, but we want to be a straight body. Here we go. Count down. And up we go. Straight body. Again, we're squeezing those glutes, keeping everything as straight as possible. If you need to kind of pinch the shoulder blades together to help create some stability in the shoulders. If you feel like this is kind of challenging your shoulders too much, we can modify. You can go back to the tabletop exercise from level 1, or you can actually come up to a chair as well and do a similar exercise where you just kind of plank from the chair. It's usually a little bit easier on your shoulders because you can have your arms come down at a little bit less steep of an angle. So we'll show you that really quick as well. So if on the ground that's a little bit too aggressive, you can take your chair and just like that tricep dip, we can just come here and hold it, and you can change that angle a little bit so it's not quite as steep like on the ground. You're here more and then planking. And you can start there and build up to where you can do it on the ground. So there are a lot of variations, but the idea is that we start engaging those muscles of the posterior chain, so glutes, again, hamstrings, and back extensors, so that we can create stability there. That's really important for stabilizing our core and maintaining good posture and motion as we're doing other activities. And so really it's, again, about preserving our ability to do the things that we love to do. So that's why we love to do this exercise. All right, next exercise is part of a series of exercises that are some of my most favorite exercises. And that's using this band. There are so many uses for the butt buster band, and many of them are to bust the butt. But this first one is called monster walks. And so what we're gonna do, it's gonna be a little bit challenging within the space here to show exactly how I do it, but you wanna take and do as big of a step as you can. So we're gonna step forward. We wanna keep the knees apart. So we're not bringing the knees in. We don't wanna do this with our knees at all. We wanna keep them out. We're gonna step forward and out. And then we're going to come back, keeping the knees from coming in, right? We're keeping them out. Big steps. We want your toes to point straight ahead as you do it. So no turning them out or in. We're really trying to engage the glutes. Notice I've got a slight knee bend, so I'm not standing straight-legged. Slight knee bend, keeping those legs as far apart as I can. And so you'd want to go about 10 steps forward, 10 steps back as you do it. All right, let's give it a shot. And if you don't have a full 10 steps forward and 10 steps back amount of space wherever you're doing the workout, that's fine. Just do as many as you can. 2 or 3 steps forward, 2 or 3 steps back. Here we go. Count down 3, 2, 1. So we're big, wide steps here. And there are some other ways to vary the way you do the stepping, where you kind of do a step together, step together, step. If that's easier for you right now, that's okay to do it that way as well. It has its own challenges. Again, you want to make sure with that you're, again, not letting your knees come together, keeping those knees apart, straight over your toes, knees slightly bent forward at the waist. But you just work it back and forth for that full 40 seconds. You should be feeling it kind of right behind the hip bone in those glutes is one of the areas you want to find it. All right. Last exercise is just a traditional plank. Level 1, we did 2 different plank variations. One was a bent elbow plank and bent knee plank. So we were on elbows and knees. And then we did a straight arm and bent knee plank as well in level 1. Level 2, now we're going to move to a bent elbow plank, but straight legs. So we're going elbows and toes are kind of the contact points. So we're going to have to really brace the core, draw the belly button in towards the spine without flattening the back, right? And without losing our breath. So we still want to be able to breathe and move naturally and normally so that we don't lose our breath. So we don't want to bear down, we just want to tighten, draw that belly button down towards the spine. So here we go, here's a plank. And again, make sure that your positioning is good, that we're not too high, we're not too low, and that our head stays in line with our body. So we don't want to sag down, we don't want to look up. We want to keep our head in line with our body for the whole plank. All right, here we go. Here's our countdown. And we're getting in position. Planks are one of my favorite exercises actually for core strengthening because it really does work that whole chain, trying to make sure I'm in good alignment. It really does work your abdominal muscles. You got to squeeze the glutes, everything. You want to make sure everything is locked in, and it's a great way to engage the abs. And there are so many different variations of a plank as well. But you notice as I'm bracing those abdominal muscles, as I'm tightening down and maintaining that stability, what I'm not doing is holding my breath. I'm able to still breathe and talk and do everything pretty normally, despite the fact that I'm doing a good ab contraction. And so that's a good skill to learn, is how to engage the abdominal muscles without holding your breath. A lot of people, when they lift weights or when they do other exercises, especially stairs, people will hold their breath as they go up the stairs or as they exert in different ways. When you hold your breath while exerting, it can make you lightheaded. It can cause a lot of blood pressure problems because you're pushing out through your abdominal cavity against all your blood vessels, and it's pinching some of them off, and so we don't get all the blood returned back to our head and some other things like that. It can cause a lot of problems. And so we tend to bear down. It's pretty common, but we really want to continue breathing through our exercises. If you do have to kind of bear down, you're probably going too heavy or too hard for the amount of strength that you have. And so it's better to back it off a little bit and make sure your form and your breathing stays safe and healthy as you do those things. So that is the first round of all 5 exercises. Again, we did the step up with the high knee on a step. We did the chair dips. We did a reverse plank. We did the butt buster, so the monster walks forward and backward, and then we did the regular traditional plank. So those 5 exercises. Again, if you're watching live, go ahead and give us a shout out. Say, hey, I'm watching live. If you're watching the replay, let us know. Say replay. And if you're completing the workout, let us know. Drop us a comment about how you did and what you thought about it. Happy to get that feedback, and we want to be able to give you a shout out. So with all my talking, I dry out. I'm going to grab some water. It's good to stay hydrated, right? I dripped. All right, here we go. So we're going to hit round 2, and we're just going to plug through these next 2 rounds and keep going. The idea here is that we are able to keep the heart rate up a little bit by keeping moving, but we're not going to go so intense and have such a short rest interval that we can't keep our breath and that we're working too hard. Really, these aren't designed to kill you off in any one day. We want them to be challenging enough to make your muscles have to make a change, but we don't want it to make it so that you're not able to work out tomorrow. And so really be careful with how hard you're pushing it within that 40 seconds. Make sure that you're challenging yourself, but also that you're not making it so that tomorrow you can't participate and do one of the other workouts. And so these, again, are designed to be a series of workouts that build on one another, but you can do them every day. It's something that you could do 3 times a week, like we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you could kind of just repeat those same 3 twice through the week, and then build up to that next tier. So I guess that's how it's designed. If you have any questions about that, or if some of these exercises don't work for you, go ahead and reach out to me and we can talk about some alternatives, some other exercises that you can do that help strengthen those same muscles or that are good alternatives for that. I'm trying to hit a few as we go through, ways that you can modify and make it work for you. But if you have other questions or other needs, let me know and we can talk about those individually. All right, here we go for the second round of all these exercises. We're gonna get the equipment ready, so get the stair step ready. We're gonna get the chair pulled out and we're just gonna rock through them all. All right, here we go. Countdown, I've got 8 seconds left on my countdown. And we're just gonna let it rock and roll unless I find something else to talk about. Here we go. I can always talk. Again, these workouts are designed to be a total body strengthening. Something that's gonna help strengthen and preserve the muscles that we use for the activities that we love to do. For me, that's what exercise is really all about. It's not about getting in shape or just losing weight. Those things are good, but what does that mean? Getting in shape for what? Or getting fit for what? You know, the term fit implies that we're fit for some task, that we've gotten our body more ready or prepared for a certain task. And so what is that task? That's what I like to focus on, not just being fit in general, but in saying, okay, what are the things that I love to do? What are my goals? Who am I working for? If it's my family, my kids, myself, whatever that is, I got to think that's my goal, is to be the best me I can be. And so my exercise should focus on strengthening the muscles and supporting the joints for the activities that I love to do and the person that I want to be. And so that's what exercise should be more about than simply weight loss or getting fit or any kind of aesthetic goal. It should be more about what I can do or what I can't do. And so being able to strengthen so you can do the things that you want to do and be able to preserve your life and lifestyle, become healthier, all those things. So if we can make that our goal in fitness, we tend to be a little bit more successful because we have a true structured goal. All right, here we go, tricep dips. This one's a little bit more challenging for sure. So if you need to transition up, go ahead and do so. Again, if it's too hard on your shoulders as well, go ahead and transition up to the other side or the other type from level 1. Just do the best you can. Again, the more you have your legs out straight, the more challenging it's going to be. I prefer to have knees just slightly bent personally because my hamstrings are so tight. And they've always just kind of been chronically tight. And so I prefer a little bit of a knee bend just so it's not so much pressure behind my knee. But yeah, keep going. Again, if you need to modify to here and do the dip here, that's okay, because that one's quite a bit more challenging. All right. Next is the reverse plank. So now we're going to kind of stretch out there through the shoulders. And again, you can modify on the chair, so you could just go right into doing this exercise on the chair. You want to get your hips up high. You want to be a straight line from your shoulder down to your ankles. Keep those glutes squeezed tight. Keep the back engaged. So we're really tightening that whole posterior chain. So all of those muscles along the back, glutes, we're engaging the hamstrings, digging the heels into the ground to keep those hips up. And again, you don't want to hold your breath. You want to keep breathing. So focus on that. Focus on big deep breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. Okay, there we go. 40 seconds. Next, we're doing our butt buster bands. So put those on. And we're stepping forward and backward. Big wide steps. Trying to keep the toes pointing straight ahead, knees apart, not coming in. And again, you want to go wide enough and use a band with enough resistance that you can feel it in those glutes, because that's what we're trying to stabilize. And especially as you go backward, you can typically feel that just a little bit more. And so you just go forward and backward as many times within the space that you have, and to kind of balance it out between going forward and going backward. Perfect. Okay. And last one is that traditional plank. Here we go. We're transitioning right into the plank. Well, I think I like this angle better. Here we go. So we're keeping head down. We're not raising the bum up. We're not sagging down. We're keeping nice and tight and flat. Head in line with the body. And again, we're focusing on drawing that belly button down, squeezing the glutes, and making sure that we can still breathe. We're drawing that belly button down without holding our breath. That's a big key. We want to keep that core tight, body engaged. Doing good. Sometimes planks can feel like the longest minute of your day, right? Great. There's the second round down, so we're going to keep rolling. Again, just a quick shout out. If you're watching live with us, go ahead and let us know. Or watching the replay, let us know. Again, excited to have you joining us. If you've got any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments down below. Grab a quick drink so that I can keep talking. And away we go. Okay. Next exercise is the step up again. Here we go. Stepping up. And we're making sure we're getting that good abdominal squeeze every time. So normally I have patients do this in front of a mirror, and I have them tuck their shirt in. So the reason why is I want to be able to look at their hips and make sure that they stay level as they're stepping up and down, that they're not dipping that hip down, which is a sign of glute weakness. So we want to make sure that we're tightening through the core and maintaining good hip strength as we do that exercise. So that's something important, that we have that stability in the hip and glutes. That really plays out big into running and other, stairs, other exercises. If we're weak in the glutes, we tend to get that hip drop, and that causes a lot of knee problems. And so I've actually had knee problems most of my life, and so I've really had to control that through the exercises that I do. And so that's why I always talk about and focus on the glutes, is they're critical actually to our knee position and our knee health. And so I love to focus on exercises that work the glutes. Whoops, my arms were off on that one. There we go. So definitely try to focus on getting those movements similar to an actual, like going up the stairs or a walking pattern. And it just helps with the muscle recruitment, making sure that you're getting all that timing down. That's kind of what we would normally do. All right, so by this third one, you might be pretty gassed by the end of this. So do the best you can. If you need to slow it down, that's okay. If you need to take a break, that's okay. If you need to modify, that's okay. Just do the best you can do with these tricep dips. Definitely the most challenging exercise from this round of exercises. And if you can't do it fully, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You'll get there. Definitely makes me more out of breath than the rest of them. So make sure you keep your breathing good too. In through your nose, out your mouth. Keep breathing. All right, so that's a good one. You'll definitely feel that in the triceps, a little bit in the shoulders as well. All right, we're transitioning now to that reverse plank, coming down. Again, remember the chair variation if you need to. Here we go. And we're bridging up, holding tight, squeezing everything, making sure we stay good and lined up. Again, with the head, same thing here. We don't want to be down too much. We don't want to be sagging back. Try to keep it in line with your body so that you're engaging all the muscles all the way along that chain. Keep checking, making sure your hips stay up. And keep everything tight. And just hold it for that 40 seconds. There we go. Okay, 2 more exercises left. Going back to the butt buster band. And we're gonna hit our monster walks. Here we go. You see the sweat on my forehead? Woo, these lights make it so hot in here. I checked last time, brought a digital thermometer scanner in, and after the last workout, it was over 80 degrees in here. Got pretty warm for exercising. By the lights themselves, it was over 100 degrees. It's like 103 degrees. As I get close to this light, I can really feel the heat. Perfect. Okay, last one is the plank. Plank, again, one of my favorite of all time exercises. We want to keep head in line with the body. We want to make sure we're tightening everything. Abs, glutes. Just keeping everything engaged. Maintaining that neutral core. Not sagging down. Not trying to lift my bum up too much. If you're getting pain or it's too difficult, go ahead and modify back down to the knees, or sometimes it's easier for people to do the straight arm plank variation. So if that works for you, go ahead and make those switches. Do whatever you need to do to be able to complete it. And so you don't always have to just push it and get that in. Build that up over time, and that's okay. All right, I want to thank you for watching. It's been awesome. That is the end of all those cycles. So that is workout 2, level 2 of our 9 workout series. So 3 different levels, 3 different workouts, 5 different exercises per workout. And again, workout 1, level 1, and workout 2, or workout 1, level 2, those 5 exercises correspond with level 1. So that you can move up and down as you get stronger. You can modify those and be able to kind of have some options of what to do as you get stronger. You can start out the first half of it, or the first 2 or 3 reps even, at that harder one as you get stronger, and then go back to the other form. That's totally fine. Do what you need to do to be able to make it through, with still being able to preserve your ability to work out again tomorrow. So excited that you joined us. I know I sound like a broken record. I give you some of the same tips and information every week, but to me, they're some of the most important exercise tips in making sure that we can continue to participate every day. That's the big key, is that we engage in fitness, that we engage in motion and activity every single day so that we can preserve our ability to do the things that we love to do. I'm not perfect at that. I don't always get a workout in every single day, but I try to be as active as I can, and I'm working on that. I'm working on getting more consistent with it. And I know that when I am more consistent with it, I feel better, I have more energy, I'm stronger, I get less sick, I get less injured. So much more fun to go and do activities because I don't feel like my legs are dying or my lungs are dying. And so it's such a great thing to be able to participate in fitness regularly enough that you can do everything you want to do without your body being the reason why you can't participate or your health being the reason why you can't participate. So for me, that's the reason to stay healthy. That's the reason to be body smart. And so thanks again for joining us. Make sure to join us on Monday. We're going to do workout 3 of level 2. So we're going to keep plugging along. Again, that one is just a step up from level 1, same 5 exercises, just variations of those. Really excited to bring that to you on Monday morning, bright and early. Again, let us know if you participated today, and if you have any questions or need some modifications for you, let us know. Drop that in the comments below. Happy to reach out to you and find a solution for you. Thanks again for following. We will see you on Monday.